Hi, my name is Mamelo. I am a trader, and I have been a trader for the last 4.5-ish years. Almost 4.5 years. I started trading when my daughter was born. I remember being in the hospital, listening to Wall Street Trapper actually talking about investments at first, and then he said something about options, and then I was off to the races. And got with Option Snipers. That's where I initially learned how to trade, and have been on this path and this journey for a long time. And I actually have always been, it really didn't take me very long to learn about technical analysis. And in fact, I coached a community of traders as well within the first year and a half of me learning how to trade. And man, I was doing well. I have big profits, right? Thousands in a day. And but of course, right, like I also had thousands in a day losses. And looking back, I realized that risk management was something I didn't for a hoop. Risk management for hoop. So I didn't set any stop losses, and had some things about, when I said that, my heart felt away, like, what did you just say? But it's actually pretty rough, because I actually didn't start setting stop losses until a few months ago, just because I had these ideas that my stop was being hunted, and it was, and now I know exactly why, because I was putting my stop exactly where most people put their stops. So that being said, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because God told me to make it. God has been telling me to make videos for a while, and I have been procrastinating on it because what I wanted was to have a perfect story. I wanted to be on the other side of this whole thing, which I don't even know what that is, because ultimately as traders we grow all the time. But I think what I want to talk about on this channel primarily is psychology, because like I said, I've always been a good trader. Technically, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen on the charts. Psychology has been an issue for me for the last 2 years. It's very interesting, because in the first 2 years, it felt, I don't know, it was either luck or it was me not thinking too much. And then something happened over the last couple of years. And when I look back, there's a lot there. It's very deep, and I'll get more and more into it as time goes. But essentially, it has to do with how I grew up. It has to do with family dynamics. It has to do with, growing up. Sometimes we had a lot. Sometimes we didn't have anything. My mom and I got robbed 3 times in 2 years when I was back in South Africa, in Lesotho actually. And so I know that plays a role in the way that I act in the market, because ultimately, right, it's like, I think it's kind of self-sabotage essentially, right? Because I think that if I get, I'm going to lose, and if it comes quickly and easily, then I definitely have to sabotage, right? Like that's kind of how I've been operating. And I just kind of want to walk through this journey because, one, since I've been going through this, there have been many people that I've been listening to, many YouTubers that I have been listening to that have really helped me along the way. And secondly, I know this thing is gonna work out, right? Like ultimately, it's going to work out. And most of us as traders that have been trading this long, or that just have the conviction that they're supposed to be trading, it came from somewhere. I believe it came from God. I always say I haven't felt that much conviction other than the There's only been a few times I've felt this. The last time I probably felt it was when I married my husband. Now I have three kids, but that came easily after I made the decision to marry him, right? So trading is one of those things that when I came across it, I knew. And I haven't been able to leave it alone, though I've been hurt a lot in this in this business, you know. And so I know I'm supposed to be here. I want to record it because ultimately I want God to have the glory of it all. I've been through a lot in my life, and I know God does not bring us to places just to leave us there. I believe that wholeheartedly. Never in my life has God took me somewhere and said, oh, okay, now you're on your own. And oops, I didn't mean that, right? So for me, it's just a matter of getting over myself and realizing and trusting my technicals and actually doing what I said I was going to do when the market opens. And what's been happening is that the market will open and I will do the opposite, complete opposite. And then I look and I say, oh my gosh, this is the level I actually marked, you know? And I don't, the level is exactly what happens. You know, the market something bounces off of that level or rejects off of that level, and it's a huge move to the upside or the downside depending on what it is that I marked. But when the market opens, I decide to do something completely different. So that's part of it. Man, it's brutal. I'm laughing. I'm smiling right now, but let me tell you something. This is not a joke, right? So what has happened is I've decided to start using prop capital. And the thing that has been interesting about me using prop capital is the next level of psychology that comes with this. And so of course, you know, when you pass an eval, it becomes easy to pass evals. So I've passed evals. First one was awesome, of course, and then easy pass, right? Like I can pass those things and I don't think about it. But as soon as I get funded, this is where I am today. As soon as I get funded, something happens to me internally. It's my psychology. And I'm realizing that there's something very deep inside of me that I need to continue to process, that I need to continue to look at, and that I need to continue to ask God for revelation for and from. And ultimately, because you can get a revelation and not do anything about it. And I probably already have the revelation, to be honest. But really, ultimately, it's getting to a place where I'm disciplined enough to do what I know that I need to do. And I think I am. I think I'm really close to the end. I just know that I need to do this thing that God has been asking me to do for a long time, which is start this YouTube channel and start recording. Start recording the journey, because ultimately I know that this is where I'm supposed to be, and ultimately I want God to get the glory, because there's so many of us out there that are on this journey. And so because so many have helped me on this journey, I want to be able to be an example as well. And so if I've been chosen as somebody who is an example, somebody who should be an example, then I need to go ahead and take that responsibility seriously. All right, it's Friday. I had a win today. I've been on a losing streak though, but I have massively reduced risk. I have done so many things to reduce the risk. I finally have a stop. I've decreased my size. And I've done something else that not a lot of people really talk about, but my friend Wayne told me that he does it. And I do it too, to reduce the chances of whenever there's tilt, that I overtrade and risk my whole account. So you can lock yourself out of trades for the day. I didn't know that. So I do that. I've massively reduced risk. So even if I want to keep trading after a certain point, I can't trade anymore until the next session. So that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I get frustrated sometimes, especially if I've misread the trade, but it's ultimately saved my account multiple times. So that being said, blown multiple eval accounts, blown a couple of funded accounts, but not as many as I should have. And I think I know that because with every loss there's a revelation. With every loss of an account, with every loss in the market, when I reflect, when I journal, when I take a look, all those things, there's a lesson, and I'm learning those lessons, and I'm right there. So I'm excited, and I'm happy to have this one out of the way. Excellent. Let's get it.